Hello and good afternoon. My name is Mallory Tim, and I am the Associate Director here at MPN Advocacy Education International. Unfortunately, Natalie will not be joining us today to do a yoga practice, but we are still joined with Justin Grinnell, who is a certified strength and conditioning specialist. He's going to walk us through some exercises, and if you have any questions during or after, please feel free to email us or use the chat here. And thank you for joining us today.
All right, all me now, Mallory.
Yes, all you.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining me today. I was going to be on at 12:30, so hopefully I can be a good understudy for Natalie. She has some great things planned, but we're going to be talking about the same things. And for those of you who have been on one of our seminars before, I've done several with MPN, and the big thing that I like to promote is: are we doing a lot of mini breaks and moving, continuously throughout the day? Meaning, it doesn't always have to be a full-blown hour, get after it, sweaty workout. If you can think about doing these mini breaks, doing what they call them exercise snacks, just throughout the day, it can take as little as 30 or 60 seconds. That's when I use things called body resets. And today, Natalie's going to talk about like the lymphatic system, how we can get that to calm down and reset. A lot of it with breathing, very light, gentle poses. And that's what we're going to do more on the fitness side with some body resets. This is something that I go through with my clients all the time. It's like a pre-workout thing where we're just getting everything moving and going, getting the synovial fluid in the joints, getting our breathing on point here. And so you start small and you kind of crescendo up a little bit, where I don't want to say it's difficult, but they're more involved poses, okay? More involved exercises. So first thing what I want you to do, and you'll see that I'm going to be, moving around here, okay? Because I want to make sure I get the angle, but I'm going to be on two knees. I think that going on two knees right here is a real good body reset for posture instead of standing or sitting, okay? So I'll get back here for you guys. And this actually helps get the hips neutral. So I like to start here. So you're going to have your knees underneath your hips. You're going to get real tall with your body, okay? And you want to keep what's called a neutral pelvis. Well, what does that mean? Think about this. Think about pushing your pelvis toward the front, and you're kind of contracting your glutes a little bit, and get real tall, head over your shoulders. Now, this is something that, people see me do this in the office where I put my computer down and I'll start typing like this, because I don't always want to sit in that flex position. That's what really gets the hips tighter and gets some of these muscles in the backside weaker. So even simple stuff like getting out of your chair, doing a posture reset, and what I'll do is put my hands on my stomach. What I want you to do for me now is take a big deep breath in and expand your stomach. And then you're just going to exhale through your mouth, nice and slow. So breathe in through your nose, please. So you'll breathe in, expand, and I'll do this if I'm like, in some type of typing mode or admin mode where I'm just sitting there typing away, or if I'm sitting watching TV or whatever, I'll get here. So I want you guys to give me about 8 breaths here. 8 breaths. So expand the stomach, breathe in, and then just exhale, let it all out. Good posture, head over shoulders. Let your shoulders be down and back. And you're kind of pushing your toes into the ground a little bit so you get even taller. Okay? And you're just going to kind of reset the body that way. So 8 good deep breaths here for that. Okay? And then what I want you to do is I'll give you kind of a side view here. It's a real simple motion. It's just called a rock back. And what you're going to do is you're going to put the hands in front. And all I want you to do is just rock your hips back. Now, notice I'm not going to like a child's pose type position in yoga. I'm going to keep more of a neutral posture, keeping my back flat, rocking the hips back here. Okay. So I'm just here. I'll breathe in here and exhale. Okay. Real good for those folks that start fitness in the morning like I do. You don't want to go right at it. You want to try to build that workout up, let your body wake up, get some fluid into the tissues, get your blood flowing. That's a big thing here too, of course, with MPN patients. We want the blood flow to be really good. And this is something that, movement helps the blood flow. And this is real simple movement that just helps everything work a little bit better. So about 5 or 10 reps here. Then I want you to hold it here. It's kind of like a squat on your knees. And so you should look kind of like you're squatting down pretty far back. So you're going to hold that there. Now in this position, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to do some head resets. Now that's where it all starts. Is you're going to turn your head, look over your shoulder, and look over the other shoulder. We've got to move our neck just real gently and mindfully, so you don't get a stiff neck. We're doing a lot of text neck, so this stuff I'll do, and you'll see if you do about 5 or 10 left and right, and make sure your eyes are open because you want your eyes to follow. The brain wants to follow in that rotational plane. You just go up and down and just do the range of motion that best fits for you. Now, if it's not comfortable to stay back there, you can go in what's called a quadruped position. You really can do those neck nods anywhere, but I like to do it back here. So up and down as well. You'll notice if you do that just 5 to 10 times, take a couple deep breaths, you're like, wow, I feel a little more energized. I feel like I can think a little more clear. It's because you're reducing the restriction, obviously, of the neck, tightens the muscles going up to the head and so forth. You're going to lose some blood supply. So right there, head nods. And then the last one I want you to do, it looks kind of funny, but you're going to get nice, tall, kneeling posture. And of course, you can do this seated if you can't go on your knees. You're going to go forward and then back. We want to work these cervical retractors, okay? We want to keep those back here, kind of over-exaggerate. You're not straining, but you're kind of over-exaggerating that forward and backward motion. Forward, backward. Deep breath and relax, okay? Then we're gonna get the spine going, and this is kind of a traditional yoga move. Because you're gonna do one that's called cat-cow. We call it spinal flexion and extension. We want wrist, elbow, shoulder in line with each other. We want the feet and hands about hip to shoulder width apart. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna start with a mad cat back, round through, really push through, round, breathe in. And then come down, exhale. There's some debate where you breathe on this, but I think as long as you're breathing in on one movement, exhale on the other. Always feels pretty good, but really try to find your max range. Try not to move the body back and forth here. Try to keep it, right in line. You're trying to only move through the spine. So you push away from the ground, round it, and then come back down, arch the back. You just keep repeating that. So I'm gonna give you time to give me a few more if you're following along and doing it with us here. And as Mallory said earlier, as I'm transitioning here, if you guys have any questions, you guys can feel free to email me at justin@mystateoffitness.com if you have a question about the stuff we're doing today or any kind of fitness related question, and especially with regards to anything as it relates to MPN. So after you do some of these here, what I'm going to have you do now is let me show you guys a good angle. I'm going to go from this all fours position right here, okay? And I want to step my left foot forward right here, okay? My left foot forward. And it's called a Spider-Man stretch. And the more you can get the leg back, the better, okay? But if you need to be a little closer, that's fine. And you want what we call a vertical shin. The leg isn't too far back. And you can have it forward as much as you want, as long as that heel stays down. I'm going to put my hands right here in front of my foot, okay, right in line. I'm just going to hang out there a little bit. And then I'm going to take my elbow and push the knee on the outside if you can to open up the hip a little bit more. I'm using this arm to stabilize, push up, and push my knee out right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach down, inhale, and push away from the ground, turn my rib cage, my upper spine, my head, my neck, really rotate and reach up, and come back down. Breathe in. As you can see, I'm not breathing properly because I'm talking, and it does make a big difference. So I just take my time, breathe in, and breathe out. I'll feel much better rotation. I'll feel much better on the motion, okay? So again, I want to note for all these, 5, 10 reps, you really can do as many as you want, but usually 5 to 10 reps is going to be the sweet spot. So you'll stay in that Spider-Man position on one side, and then we're going to go ahead and get it in on the other side here. So you have your legs as wide as you want or as narrow as you want, wherever you feel comfortable and stable. Push that knee out, a couple of cycles of breaths. I like to, as I exhale, I like to get a little more range of motion as I relax and let all the air out. I'm gonna reach down here, pause, and exhale. Go down here, pause, and exhale. Why don't you guys give me, 3 to 5 more reps. Take your time as we're going through it. So this is called a Spider-Man stretch with rotation. So far, we did the breathing on the 2 knees. We did the rock backs, helps reset the hips and pelvis. We did some of the head nods, which we can do head nods in any position, okay? But very important, let everything reset. I guess where it kind of starts the breath, the lymphatic system, and then really starts with the head, and you kind of go down the list here, okay? So after the Spider-Man stretch, what I want you to do is this is going to involve a little more stability in the core. You may recognize this. It's called an opposite arm leg reach, okay? Same position as you were just in. That all fours type position. Wrist, elbow, shoulder are in line with each other. The knees underneath the hip. And you're gonna have, I prefer toes tucked. I feel like it gives me more stability because you're gonna extend your leg out, so you have to kind of balance. So having those toes in the ground is better. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna reach my right arm and my left leg at the same time. The one thing I want you to note too is think about a glass of water or a cup of coffee or something on your lower back. You want to balance that. That's where the stability comes in the core. You may fumble on a couple if you haven't done it before, so just take your time. You want to go slow. So right arm, left leg at the same time. I'm going to reach my right arm out, left leg out. Now I want to get my arm and leg about parallel to the ground. You want to hold it. I mean, you can do just hold. You can sit here and hold it for 10, 20 seconds. I prefer about 3 or 5 seconds. Get nice and tall, check my position. And what I'm trying to do is train some of my coordination and proprioception. So I want to leave and meet the ground at the same time. Do a 3, 2, 1, come back down. Any of you are golfers or pickleball or some type of rotational sport, this is kind of the beginning of rotational stability right here, what we do in the gym. It just trains the brain to stabilize the trunk as the opposite arm leg moves. Very simple but effective drill. Really helps the lower back get a little bit stronger. Again, 5 to 10 reps right there. For that, people call it bird dog as well. Why, I don't know. And then opposite arm leg reach, we like to just kind of name it what the action is actually doing. Again, 5 to 10 reps, usually 5 reps, because if you're holding it longer, that's going to be more effective, okay? So after that, we're going to go into basically a hand plank position. And for some of you, this may be tougher. You have a wrist issue, elbow, shoulder, something like that. Pardon me. We have to modify this, which is fine, or maybe not do it at all. And it's not like a traditional, like if Natalie was doing it, she would do a traditional down up dog type movement. This is a little bit different, just a plank to down dog. So what I like to do is get in that all fours position, symmetrical, and I'm going to bring my feet back behind me, okay, in a push-up position. I'm going to tighten my body up a little bit, but then I'm going to inhale and then exhale. I'm going to push away from the ground. Really raise my hips up, push away from the ground with my arms and shoulders. Drop the heels down. 2, 3, 4 count, whatever feels good. Drop those heels, get a good calf and Achilles stretch. You're going to hold it. Don't go into that up dog here. You can, but I think for this purpose here, we just want to get a little core stability. And then go back up. And then repeat. So go ahead. If you're following along with us, give us about 4 or 5 reps. And by the way, you probably notice I'm in our office. Well, I got on a half hour early and we have some junior high and high school kids out in the gym running around. So I didn't want to distract them and them to distract us. So I got a little tight quarters here. But it all works. As you can see, you can do this right in a small space, right? Maybe it's good that I'm here because you don't need a lot of space. You can do it right at work, wherever. You just need a little, couple foot square there. This one is such an easy one to do, but it has such bang for the buck. and it's going to be just a basic hip lift or a hip bridge. Okay. And the reason it's so effective is, again, we're in flexion a lot, we're forward a lot, we're sitting a lot. It's just, what we do, and that's okay. But we just want to do exercise and things to combat some of the maybe negative side effects over time it can cause. And the hips, the glutes, are really the most important muscles in the body for performance, in my opinion. They need to be active. And when we are sitting, they kind of get, for not a good term or a lesser term, is they need to be activated, they get deactivated. So what you're gonna do is get your feet flat, or you could have your toes up. I don't have a preference. I think it depends on how you feel. Arms at your sides. I prefer palms up to get the shoulders back. Now, here's the thing you don't want to do on this. You don't want to just go high as you can and really get, arch in your back. That's not really the point. What I want you thinking about is if you can, touch kind of the front of your hip bones here, okay? And you're really pushing up through there, pushing your pelvis forward until you can contract your glutes. And that's as high as you need to go. That's it right there for me. Could I go higher? Sure. But I'm going to go into my lower back. And you'll see a lot of folks who do that just because we think higher is better, right? Well, all you need to do is go up, tighten your stomach, go high, squeeze for a good, I think the 2-2-2 count on this one. So I go down for 2, I go up for 2, and I hold for 2, because this is one you can easily get out of control. And just take your time, drive up, hold, 1, 2, down, 1, 2. And again, 5 to 10 reps does it good, but sometimes if we have folks that come straight from work and a little bit tight, we'll have them do 20, 30, 40 reps to really good blood flow to the hips, help open up the front side of the hips. Because one thing to note is a lot of folks, this is maybe a tip for folks that are working out or do work out, is this stretch here doesn't do a lot for us because we get arched here and it kind of pulls on that little bone back here, this SI joint. And yeah, it stretches here a little bit, but not that much. It gets more here. We don't get a lot of benefit here. We actually get more benefit here or on your back doing some hip lifts. And so if folks are saying, or PT is saying, hey, your hips are tight, some of these motions here are going to be a lot more beneficial than like an isolated stretch because you're doing the actual movement pattern that your body's meant to do. Okay. All right, so that's some of the ground stuff that we have here. I ended that one with the hip lift. Now what we're going to do is we're going to stand up, okay, get you upright a little bit. And we're going to do some more of the resets here, okay? We're going to start, I'm going to focus just on my head again. So now you stand up, arms are at your side here, okay? Let me back up here for you guys. And I want you to think the same next step we just did. Just give me 3 reps. Let your arms hang. So we're going to do some stuff above the shoulders here. What I want you to do is head up and down 3 times. Take real good posture. Take normal breathing 3 times. I'll give you a side view of this one here so you can see it. Forward and backward. Okay, forward and backward. That sets us up for the next stuff we're going to do. Okay, called open and close the book. And I think I want to start a trend here in the Lansing area because I've told so many professors, so many doctors, so many folks that are really doing a lot of this stuff, Dennis. And I said, you've got to do the breath, you got to do the neck for me, okay? Because you're getting this here, you're getting the dowager's hump of the neck. We can't have that. That's no good. And just do this stuff. And they somehow buy in. So I hope you guys can buy in on this day. When I put my hands like this, I call it open and close the book. Okay, take a deep breath. Relax my neck and shoulders. Get my head over in neutral. And all I do is super simple. You just go out, open up, squeeze your shoulder blades. Trying to arch your back. That could be easy. So think about that posture you had on 2 knees or on the bridge. My glutes are engaged. This is kind of nice and neutral. I just go back, open the shoulders up, shoulders down and back, get a good stretch in the chest. And what you're doing is you're getting these middle back muscles more active and over time a little bit stronger because we want these middle back muscles. Think your shoulder blade muscle areas. Those get to kind of go sleep a little bit when we're doing all this stuff, okay, or whatever we're doing. Real simple. So open, chest up, squeeze, and boom. So my kids, they call these all these things I'm always doing at home call my old man stretches, but they're soon finding out as they get older in athletics, they're like, Dad, I'm really tight. I need to stretch here. So they're starting to buy in as they get older. So that's good. So I would say, if I'm at work, deep breaths, head nods, and this, if you can just do those three, you will see a difference. We have seen people, if you guys don't know what a downward hump is, it's something that gets on the back of the neck just over time, over stress. We hold a lot of stress here. We have seen people physically reduce that, okay, by exercise and so forth, but really just focusing on the breath, focusing on the neck, resetting that lymphatic system, and doing some of those open and close the books. So next what I want to do is just again, this is stuff you probably did in gym class, right? We're just boiling it down to easy stuff that's just good movement for the lymphatic system and for blood flow. This is arm swings, and you can go as intense as you want, you can go slow as you want, whatever you want to do. Good posture, okay? And you're just raising the arms up and down because the shoulders need to work dynamically, okay? Just a nice, easy arm swing, bend the elbows a little bit. You know, especially if you had a day where we get a lot of people will sleep on their shoulder, you know, so much more comfortable doing that, but then you wake up and you're kind of like this. All the stuff we're doing will help, but then we need to move it dynamically, okay, because it's a ball and socket joint, just like our hip, and it does so many different things. It needs to be used to so much stuff out there to be resilient. So right here, and I still do all this stuff. It allows me to do the things I want to do in the weight room. So you see me from the side view. And then we'll go alternate arm, okay? Again, don't let the body move. You're keeping the core engaged, kind of stiffening the body. Think about those hip lifts we did, okay? So again, 10, 15, 5, 10, 15 is going to be good, okay, right there. Just those simple shoulder drills right there. And then what I want you to do, I'm going to grab this chair here. I have to go and finish those if you haven't done enough of them. 10 to 15 to the double and 10 to 15 to the singles right there. Now, some folks have trouble squatting, so we don't like to squat, but we squat every day. We sit down. It's a fundamental movement you want to be able to do for the rest of your life, okay, at some capacity. And you also want to be able to get your hips mobile enough to be able to do that. Well, you can use assistance, and I just have this chair here. And traditionally, if you had a weight, let's say, because I don't know who's in this video that says weightlifter, says you don't want to let your pelvis tuck under. Now, on this one, you want it to. If you're feeling some pressure in your kind of tailbone area, this will actually cause a slight distraction and release that a little bit. But you want to get your feet about shoulder width apart here, guys. Give or take, you can play with it. I don't want your toes out a lot, okay? But they could be out a little bit, and you're just going to hang on to something that's stable, and you're just going to sit down as far as you possibly can, okay? To the point where your feet are flat. All right, you can use this as assistance, have your elbows inside your knees, and then you're just going to breathe. And just let yourself, you see I just kind of sunk down. Hopefully you guys can see me okay here. Each breath, I get a little bit lower because I'm relaxing. I'm letting the tension go, all right? And I'll even do this. If I push it away, I'll even go here and kind of lean into it. Now, if you can't go that far, that's okay. You can start here, okay? You don't have to necessarily, start in that real low position. Everybody's got a starting point, but I have seen, I've gotten just about anybody I've ever worked with, and remember, wide demographic, wide injuries, wide diseases, all types of people, to get down here with assistance, get their ankles more mobile, okay? Sit down in that squat position. Maybe they need some assistance with the ground, maybe need some assistance with a chair or desk or something, and just sit here, okay? Now, a minute's a long time, all right? A minute is a long time. You'll feel that. And when you get out, when you're there that long, what I want you to do is lean forward, grab the ground, and lift your hips up like this. It's just easier to come out of it. It's a lot more comfortable. But if you can learn how to get yourself in a deep squat properly over time, like in short, you're just going to give yourself the ability to be able to squat up and down, okay? Which is important, especially as we age and things like that. Real proud of my grandpa. He's 91. I said, you want help out of a chair? He said, no, I'm good. Well, he's always kind of squatted up and down, played golf, and just keep moving. Just got to keep moving, okay? Okay. So I have one more thing for you. This is something that you're going to do that I want you thinking about when you stretch the hamstrings. A lot of folks may say, okay, well, do one of these numbers and things like that. I don't want to say that's bad. It's just not that productive. Okay. What we want to do is do what the hamstrings actually do in function, and that's hinging. Okay. So if you know what a deadlift is in weightlifting, it's very similar. You go down with good posture, you pick something up. Okay. Well, here, what I'm going to have you do is you're going to do a hinge where you're just doing the pattern, no weight. Your hands are on your thighs. And what you're going to do is, again, get that neutral posture. We talked about at the beginning, slide your hands down your thighs. And what you're doing, you're synergistically pushing your hips back as far as you possibly can while bending the knees and keeping a good upright torso. Not as easy as it looks. Now, I'm trying to find a hamstring stretch, and I found it right there. I really feel these pull. And then I'm going to come back up right here. This is something I'll actually do before I deadlift for real. It helps prep my body and brain, makes me understand the motor action, and also it gives me a real good stretch for those who have tight hips. Because what's happening is you're pushing the femur bone, your hip bone, back, you're tilting the pelvis, and that's really what is going to get your hamstrings to do the function that they're supposed to do. You're made to do this. So you get better at this pattern, get more mobile in this pattern. So what happens after that, if you have to go pick up something heavy, you know that, okay, Justin said on that video, I've got to push my hips back. I've got to get in position. I've got to feel those muscles work. Now I'm going to pick up whatever I need to pick up at home, and I'm going to follow that same pattern. So this is something we'll do a lot to train that motion. Okay. Well, I think we could go on and on and on, Mallory. I could keep going. I didn't know we had timed out, but we have some videos here. I can send a link here of some different, warm-ups and some resets. If we want to post it in the video and it's on the YouTube, I think that'll be helpful.
That'd be great.
And again, if anybody has a question that maybe didn't get answered today, you can email me at justin@mystateoffitness.com. More than happy to help you. Didn't know if you have any questions in the queue at all or anything anybody had.
Any come through, but if we do get any, either email to us or you, we'll let you know. So.
All right, fantastic. Well, I hope I provided you guys some benefit today. Hope I was somewhat exciting. Next time, I think we have something else planned, so be ready.
Yeah, thank you so much, Justin, and thank you everybody for joining us. Stay cool and have a great day.
All right, thank you, Mallory.
All right, bye.